Hello, this is Matt on the Moon Lambo channel. Ripple was at the White House on Friday, and why? Well, because the first ever federal bill pertaining to crypto passed, and President Trump signed it into law. And by the way, this is fantastic for XRP specifically, and I will articulate why as we get into this latest Moon Lambo hot jam. Although, unfortunately, Ripple CEO Brad Garlinghouse, he sat this one out. He was not able to make it. So I'll get you caught up to speed on everything that's gone down on this particular topic, but there is more coming down the pike. And I'm telling you, because of the way that this most recent election went down, whether you're on the left or right politically, I don't care. It doesn't matter for the purposes of this channel. Whether you and I agree or disagree on politics, doesn't matter. We can all be friends here, right? I will only talk about politics insofar as it pertains specifically to the economy, finance, and most specifically crypto and XRP. And it is unquestionably the case that because of the way that election went down, our net worths are going to be higher in the world of crypto. All of us here, this is fortunate for all of us. It's going to be much higher because of the way this election went down, because the war on crypto is over, and XRP, if anything, is being favored at this point. What a godsend for everything. And think about all the hell our XRP community has been through for damn near half a decade, and now we're out on the other side of this thing, and now we don't have headwinds, we have tailwinds? Hell yeah. But before going further, I do want to be clear, I do not have a financial background of any kind. I am not offering financial advice, and you definitely should not buy or sell anything because of anything I say or write. I'm just an enthusiast who enjoys making YouTube videos about crypto-related topics, but just as a hobby and just for fun. All right, so here's a post from Stuart Alderati. He, of course, is Ripple's top in-house lawyer, their chief legal officer. That's him in the middle right here, with that beautiful smile right there. Where's your teeth? I don't trust people who don't show their teeth when they smile. I'm just kidding. I'll trust you, Stuart, already. But here he wrote, honored to be at the White House for the signing ceremony of the Genius Act into law. As promised, this is the most crypto-forward administration we've ever seen. Spot on. Like, I don't know if you guys understand the ridiculous amount of money that's flowing into crypto because the floodgates have opened and everything's pro-crypto in America now. The largest capital market on the entire freaking planet. This is great for you even if you don't live in the United States, to be clear. The amount of money flowing in, and a certain percentage absolutely is making its way to XRP. It actively is making it there already. I can't overstate the degree to which this is life-changing for us. I mean, yeah, crypto markets still would have gone up if the election went the other way. Not like this. Absolutely not like this. And the amount of institutional money flowing in, businesses, having money flowing in. Do you think all these publicly traded companies that are now, they publicly stated they are using XRP as a treasury reserve asset? Do you think that these publicly traded companies would have done that if Trump hadn't won? Obviously. Obviously they would not have. Pro-crypto all the way. We can all agree on that. I don't care what your political leanings are. We can all agree on that if you're being intellectually honest. Absolutely. And so there was that from Stuart Alderati, and then Brad Garlinghouse reposted that. And he said, Team Ripple at the White House, celebrating a historic day for crypto. Bummed I wasn't able to make it in person, but celebrating from afar. Okay, Brad Garlinghouse, he has to have been doing something ridiculously important, right? I mean, if he's not at the White House when he could have been at the White House, that's a memory like you'll never forget. If he's not there, what is he doing that's more important? And does it have to do with XRP? I hope the answer is yes. Or he's got the sniffles and he couldn't make it. I do not know. But take a look at this. And this is, again, huge deal here. First federal law passed pertaining to crypto in the United States in history. So here's the headline. Trump signs landmark Genius Act, hailing exciting new frontier for crypto. President Trump signed a landmark bill to regulate cryptocurrency on Friday, hailing the exciting new frontier for the technology one day after the bill passed the House. And so the bill passed Friday, and actually I might have worded that wrong earlier, and if I did, it's now occurring to me that I may have worded that incorrectly. So here you have, it was July 18th that he posted this. So wait, oh no, it was right. Okay, I worded that correctly. My dates were getting jumbled up in my head here. So anyway, then the piece continues. The legislation called the Genius Act is the first major law governing digital currency and establishes a regulatory framework for the $250 billion stablecoin market. Stablecoins are viewed as a relatively safe type of cryptocurrency since their value is pegged to other assets like the dollar. The bill passed the House on Thursday with the support of 206 Republicans and 102 Democrats. And so there you go, folks. I'm glad more Democrats are coming over, but the majority of Democrats are still anti-crypto. How stupid are these people? To be anti-crypto when there is no anti-crypto voter bloc? What are you doing? It's not even helping you. It's not helping you. And it is harming consumers to be anti-crypto. All your constituents. It is harming them. And so people like us, me and everybody that's listening to this channel who's in the know and understands crypto, well, there is a pro-crypto voter bloc. And you are absolutely pushing all of us away. Every single one of us, you are pushing us away by inexplicably being anti-crypto just because you want to make it partisan. You're just making it partisan for the sake of it. There's nothing inherently partisan about crypto. There just isn't. Stop it, you idiot sticks. Stop doing that. I mean, we'll get there, but man. And it's obviously like the younger Democrats, they're way more likely to be pro-crypto, and I applaud them. They deserve props where it's due. But you do find there's still most Democrats, especially the other ones, just nope. They just won't do it. It's so clearly partisan, you know? There are also a bunch of old Republicans, but they're still all pro-crypto, so age does not solely explain this. They're making it partisan. Anyway, peace continues. We worked hard. It's a very important act, the Genius Act. They named it after me, the president joked in the East Room of the White House. I want to thank you. This is a hell of an act. And again, that's a quote from the president. Now, here's the White House's website, and they cite, I want to share just a few key bullet points here, and this will get to the heart of the matter. It states, of course, what in a nutshell what this does, consumer protections, but please note this, and this is a key takeaway if you're an XRP holder. The reason this matters is because Ripple has a stablecoin. You might have heard about it by now. It launched in December. It's Ripple stablecoin. RLUSD is the ticker symbol, and all of the RLUSD that has been issued on the XRP ledger, that requires XRP. Because of the way the XRP ledger is coded, RLUSD could not exist on the XRP ledger without XRP. Even more importantly, every single transaction of RLUSD that is on the XRP ledger requires XRP. It functions in that sense as a gas token. And so every single transaction for any asset, whether it's XRP itself, RLUSD, anything else that's tokenized, a tiny bit of XRP is burnt with every single transaction, including RLUSD. That makes XRP more scarce, marginally, but it does. And it also makes it very clear that XRP is here to stay. Because if you think about it, if you're jumping into the crypto space, interested in diversifying and getting more into crypto, if you know that XRP is functionally useful and RLUSD, which is increasingly being adopted, if RLUSD on the XRP ledger requires XRP, don't you think that that's just one more thing that's going to make it more likely that you're going to invest in XRP as you diversify? I think obviously the answer is yes. And so this makes RLUSD more likely to get adopted. It protects consumers, which makes it more likely in turn that XRP gets used as a result for every single transaction on the XRP ledger. That's why this matters directly to XRP. But there are other things that indirectly benefit us as well, which is it's very clear. It's what I was alluding to at the earlier part of this video. You're going to have a bigger crypto pie, more money flowing into crypto because of all of this, and a certain amount of that is going to make its way to XRP. So take a look at this. So I just want to share a few bullet points here. The Genius Act prioritizes consumer protection, strengthens the U.S. dollar's reserve currency status, and bolsters our national security. And so I'll pause here to note, and they actually go into greater detail in one of these bullet points I'll get to in a second here, but that's true. So like RLUSD, RLUSD is backed by the dollar and also U.S. Treasuries. So it's literally backed by U.S. debt. This secures the United States dollar's place as the world reserve currency. That's what this does. So of course it makes sense for the Fed to be in favor. Of course, yeah, it's just a no-brainer here. This secures it. And then they write here, let me go down a little bit. This long overdue legislation creates the first ever federal regulatory system for stablecoins, ensuring their stability and trust through strong reserve requirements. The Genius Act requires 100% reserve backing with liquid assets like US dollars or short-term treasuries, and requires issuers to make monthly public disclosures of the composition of reserves. So there we go. And I haven't looked into it yet. I don't know if Tether's publicly stated how they're going to respond to this, but Tether has been shady. I'm not saying they're doing anything illegal because I don't have anything to prove that, but they've been acting very shady for their whole existence. They refuse to be publicly audited. I don't know how they're going to respond to this. Maybe they have. I haven't Googled that, admittedly, so maybe that information's already out there. I don't pretend to know everything, though. But I'll look into that after this video because I'm curious now. But they have been so shady, like just refusing to show exactly what Tether stablecoin's backed by. And then they make up these BS excuses like, well, it's proprietary. We don't want to explain how we do things. I'm like, shut the hell up. We're just talking about you proving that it's backed. That's not going to ruin your business model. Stop it. That's stupid. Ripple's doing it. Circle was already doing it. Why aren't you doing it? It's just, come on, Tether. It makes me wonder what the hell is going on all these years. And if they're all in the up and up, and I certainly hope that's the case, super duper, I'll still be wondering, then why the hell weren't you just transparent? Because none of this makes sense. It's ridiculous. Anyway, next bullet point here. Stablecoin issuers must comply with strict marketing rules to protect consumers from deceptive practices. Crucially, they are forbidden from making misleading claims that their stablecoins are backed by the U.S. government, federally insured, or legal tender. The Genius Act aligns with state and federal stablecoin frameworks, ensuring fair and consistent regulation throughout the country. In the event of insolvency of a stablecoin issuer, the Genius Act prioritizes stablecoin holders' claims over all other creditors, ensuring a final backstop of consumer protection. And that's fantastic. And just think about that. That adds protections for consumers, and most Democrats voted against it. They don't want you to have that protection. They don't want the adoption of crypto. Why? Because reasons. They just want to be against everything that Trump's for. It's just ridiculous. Then we have this. This is Brian Armstrong. He, of course, is the co-founder and CEO of Coinbase. There he is in front of the White House. And he said, surreal moment. President Trump just signed the first federal crypto bill into law, ushering in a new era for crypto, one that starts today for stablecoins. Market structure will be next, and we're committed to the White House's September 30th deadline. Folks, that'll be a real big one. If you get market structure, a bill regarding market structure passed on a federal level, floodgates open them wider. More money's got to float in. I'm telling you. That is exactly the result. And it's because of the way this election went down. I'm so thankful because my net worth is a lot higher today than it would otherwise be. And it's going to be way higher in the future than it would otherwise be had this gone differently. And I'm just thankful for that. I don't care what your politics are. Like I said at the beginning of the video, just be intellectually honest and admit that this is good for you if you're in crypto, no matter what you think on anything else. This is absolutely the case. I'm just thrilled to see this. It's just great. What a time to be alive. What a time to be in crypto. And we were here, like pretty much everybody listening. I know there will be some people that are literally brand new to crypto, in which case, welcome to the party. It's freaking crazy at times. But I know that most of you listening were here before this. And congratulations for beating like just about every business, institution, and human on the planet to crypto. You won. You were here first. Kudos and props to you. I'm not a financial advisor. You should not buy or sell anything because of anything I say or write. That would be a very, very, very bad idea. Until next time, to the moon, Lambo.